Hi everybody, I hope everybody is doing well. So, today is going to be a reading about Wendy Williams. So, last night I watched a bit of the documentary that they just put out about her. And I would say, deeply moved. I almost shed a tear for her, actually. It was sad to see her in that state when she has been appeared to be so strong. Like on her talk show, listening to her radio personality, to see her so unwell was a bit jarring, actually. So what I want, and I didn't realize that, like, I knew that she had addictions, but I didn't know that they had gotten so severe. So I guess the reading today is simply going to be about what her future holds for her. Will she be able to get back on TV like she wants? The feeling that I was getting while I was watching is, like, in her moments where she was not under the influence. So, like, it seemed like usually, like, in the morning time when she would just wake up, she seemed like herself, if that makes sense. Like, her ability to have a conversation, she seemed to be, like, coherent, lucid, herself. But I feel like the times where she was under the influence of alcohol is when the symptoms of dementia really showed themselves. So let's take a look at the bottom. Triumphant success in reverse. So that's not a good sign. But the feeling that I'm getting is, like, at the moment, her brain is just not in the right place at the moment. So let's dig in deeper to this. The feeling that I get is that she is not going to be back on television. No, I don't feel like she's going to be back on television. So we'll shuffle and see what else comes out. I used to watch Wendy Williams all the time. And I did wonder what happened to her. Stand your ground and accelerated motion. These cards make me feel like if Wendy Williams decides that she does want to have a normal sort of life and she sticks with it, she will move forward at a fast rate. The feeling I keep getting with her is that she's gonna be on the radio again, or she's gonna have a podcast. I don't feel television though. I feel like with her condition, she's a bit too unpredictable. And that doesn't make for good television. Oh, my cards are just flying off the table. These two came sliding out. Rejoice in celebration, emotional loss. Yeah, it's the drinking that's making her be in that condition. And you can see it on her face in this, in the documentary. Like, as soon as she starts drinking, she, like, totally, like, disconnects. she's distant. The look on her face was so, oh my goodness gracious. Sacral chakra and balance in reverse. Wendy Williams definitely suffering from depression. The drinking is definitely about not wanting to feel the pain. And I feel like she's been through a lot of pain, like with her husband doing what he did, with them cheating, the affair, the waiting game, heart chakra. Yeah, this is about love. She wants so much to have like love and family in her life. I think that what her husband did impacted her more than she has let on. We'll say that. I honestly feel like it's the reason for her condition. I do not think that losing her show had as much impact as losing her marriage. Transformation in reverse and fulfillment of wishes. Yeah, Wendy Williams. Yeah, she's having a hard time, and you can see it in the documentary, having a hard time letting go of that old life. That old life for her is dead. It's time for newness. And she's having a hard time letting go. You know what I found totally ridiculous is that her family wants to be her guardian, but then they appoint complete strangers to take care of her. It's just ridiculous. Emotional loss, choose wisely. Yeah, Wendy Williams needs to get in control of her emotions, how she deals with pain, because she chooses a self-destructive path first. There are many outlets to deal with pain, but she always goes down the path that causes the most destruction. New beginnings. Yeah, this is a new start for her. The old life's dead, and that's what she has to come to grips with. Whether it be her marriage, her show on television, all of that is dead. She's starting from ground zero. Patience. Firm foundation. Yeah, Wendy Williams is the type of person that wants what she wants, and she wants it now. And I feel like that is what is going to be her biggest obstacle at this time in her life. I think what's happening is like she is being called to slow down. She's been living this fast life, but now she's in a season of her life where she is being forced, really, to move at a slower pace. And she doesn't like that. She doesn't want that. She doesn't like that. But that's it's happening whether she likes it or not. So I would say she's being advised to accept her fate and enjoy it, because it's not harmful. It's not something that is done as a punishment. It's what she needs right now. Obstacles and challenges, recognition and reward. Fame. This makes me feel like fame. That's her biggest. That's her biggest obstacle. Is like, and you can see it in the documentary. She wants to be famous, but there's something else here about avoidance. She avoids her problem when she needs to face her problems. I also feel like there's something there's like a comeback story here. Like, if she is able to come back from the state that she is in, the feeling that I get is like she's most likely gonna be even more famous, because people are going to be able to relate to her more, because we've seen her at her worst. We can all relate to being in that position where we're down and out, we look like shit, you know what I'm saying? And then we pick ourselves up and we keep on moving. She's like, if she is able to, as they were saying in the documentary, heal herself, she will be an inspiration to so many people. And I feel like her fame will be even more potent. Shadow in reverse and authority. She's being controlled behind the scenes by powers that be. What I found totally crazy was that she has no money. That was just blows my mind. Moving on, and shadow. I think what's happening is Wendy Williams needs to be more secretive about what she's doing. I don't know how that's possible because she's being totally controlled, but it's all, the feeling that I get is like she needs to take control of herself. Do something that is by her own hand, that other people do not have their fingers in. Right? There's something to this. I'm in a facility and I can't talk to anybody. There's something to that. I'm not sure what that's about, but there's something I feel like shifty about it. Movement, choices, decisions. It's almost like she's being kept away from her family, which seems so ridiculous to me. Like, but she is calling them, which is great, but still, her family is her biggest support system, her most positive support system, who she needs the most, and they're keeping her away? There's something shifty about that, I must say. Her family has not done anything that we know of as the public toward her, and they're not saying it, her family members on video, that has shown ill will towards her. So to keep them away, there's something definitely shifty about that. Alright, let's see. Bottom of the deck. Financial and material changes. We know that money's an issue. That's the bottom of the deck. Choose wisely. Yes. My feeling is that she needs to pick her next business venture with care. And the feeling I get is like, who's involved? So there's something coming through about her money. Okay, let's keep going. I feel like her money is going to be one of her biggest challenges, to deal with emotionally. I think that there's a decrease, and it's going to be hard for her to accept because she has been living the high life for so long. And I feel like money is going to be a primary driver in terms of like ruffling her emotions. Like, money will be the trigger that sends her into an emotional tailspin, which, as we know, when her emotionals get triggered, she tends to head towards self-destructive patterns. So her challenge moving forward is to recognize her triggers and then to direct her emotional responses or her coping mechanisms in a healthy way. Like, yeah, I'm pissed about my money. Let me go to the gym and do, 30 leg lifts or something, you know what I mean? Or let me go sit on the bench at the park. Not let me go to the liquor store and buy, a bottle of vodka, which is, she says, is what she likes the most. Okay, so material harvest. Solar plexus chakra. I always have to look up the chakras. Which is, I can't. Okay, I can make money. We know this. Yes, that's what I want to do. I honestly feel like she is capable of doing something in the future, like with communications, like she always has, but she can't drink at all. It messes too much with her mind. I feel like there's already damage done. If she wants a future, she has to stop drinking. Authority, yeah. I'm telling you, there's powers that be that control her money and control her. But I feel like this is the time of life where she has to step up and take control of her life in a healthy way. Yeah, she can change. Transformation. I can change. I can transform. I can start over. The truth. But she has to be realistic about what she wants. Television, I feel like, is not an option. Not right now. No. The feeling I'm getting is, I just heard I have to go back to my roots. My feeling is like she's got to go back to her voice coming through the airwaves. In the documentary, she kept mentioning how she wants to take her wig off and then put it back on again. The feeling I'm getting right now is like she needs to go behind the microphone right now. Sacrifice. Yeah, she needs to get rid of her current management. The feeling I keep getting is like she needs to start from scratch. Like, fire everyone that she has been working with thus far, hire all new people, start all the way over. This is also like guardianship energy coming through here. Maybe like for seriously for the coming future, she needs to let other people handle her money for her. Like, she really does need to be controlled, I think, because she's so impulsive and can be very reckless. But that being said, she needs people that have her best interests at heart, and I don't think the people that are in her current circle as management have her best interests at heart. So yeah, she needs other people to control her money. Harmony. What Wendy Williams needs right now is to fix the relationships in her life. Every single one of them. Because every single one of them has fallen apart in a sense, has been damaged, and she needs to repair them. She also needs to start to believe that she can have love in her life again. I feel like once she starts to believe that she can have love, she can have amazing relationships, she can be happy again, is the moment that she changes. I think the feeling I get is that it's starting already. She's starting to see that already. I'm telling her family loves her. They will forgive any wrongdoing. And she is like an incredible woman, that there is someone out there for her, disease and all. But I feel like the alcohol has a lot to do with this disease process. Partnerships and alliances. She needs to start seeing reality. Like, she needs to start looking at her capabilities in terms of her health. What can I do to be successful, but at the same time be healthy? I think the grueling schedule that she had on television was too much. Is currently too much for her. At the time, I don't think so. But now, in this present day moment, television is too grueling of a schedule for her condition. So she needs to start looking at what she wants in terms of how it measures up with her health and if they are compatible. There's also some delusions, I would say, about relationships, business relationships that she has. Um, she needs to start seeing people for their true motives, because there's, as we can see also in the documentary, I believe that there's some people in her life that are not there um, for her benefit. For her, they do not care about her well-being. They care about themselves and what she can do for them. And the feeling I get is Wendy Williams, really, the people in her life, she's like hardcore. She gives hardcore criticism on television of celebrities. The feeling that I get is, in the background, she wants to see the best in everybody. And so she does, which is very kind of her, but the truth of the matter is that people do not always have the best intentions. So, as part of her healing, she needs to start seeing people for who they truly are. And she knows. I just heard she's intuitive. She can feel people's energy. She knows, let's just say she knows who the rats are in her life. And she's being advised to accept the facts and to get rid of them. Accelerated motion. Yeah. The feeling I get is that the minute that she allows someone else to take control of her money, which will prevent her from what I'm getting is like she needs a security gate. You know what I mean? Like what she needs in her life is a barrier. Like she needs to be in control of her money, but she also needs the security gate to prevent her access. So someone just say, like she needs a go-between. When she wants money, she's going to have to ask for it. And the person responsible, of course, will give her the money that she wants if she's using it in the proper manner. I keep hearing her sister. Yeah, her sister. But no money for alcohol, no money for drugs. But she needs that like go-between. Like she should not have full access, unhindered to her money, because once she does, she just goes downhill. Obstacles and challenges. Biggest obstacle, relationships. I know this is gonna sound really freaking messed up, but there's something about this ex-husband and her thinking they can get back together. I think that's there may be evidence of her trying to get him back or something, but I don't feel like, the feeling I get is like he's not gonna come back, especially when she's in that state. So I think that's gonna be a very big struggle for her, because I feel like she doesn't want to let go of him, even though he treated her like scum. So that's a big challenge for her, to let go of this marriage. What happened, like what he did, everything. And I would advise her not to go back there, but I feel like that is a biggest struggle. She thinks she can fix it, and she can't. It's done. Um, Moving on in love is going to be extremely difficult for her. The feeling that I get is like she holds on, like she's almost like a hoarder. Like the things in her life she has a hard time letting go of. And her marriage is one of them. Moving on. Recognition and reward. She needs to see the truth about fame. It's like the people that were in your life when you were famous are not your friends. And I think she feels like in her heart, these people are her friends. But that is not the case. And she needs to recognize that. These people are about their money. They are not your friends. You know what's so crazy? I just heard she needs to go back to the streets. And I don't mean, and it sounds like like the Wendy Williams, it's almost like fame kind of went to her head. That's the feeling I got with that. It's like fame went to her head and she forgot who she was at the beginning, you know? It's like she definitely has to go back to her roots. Her roots. Just her podcast. And I feel like that's something that she can do from her home. I feel like she needs to be in her home at this time. Doing something from home where she can heal. And then once that's going, then maybe she can go outside and work. But for now, what I feel like what she needs to do business-wise needs to happen inside her home. Discontent and boredom. Yeah, she is not gonna like that, giving up her money. Love begins. Yeah, moving on in love. Extremely difficult, but I think she's going to. Base chakra. This is like I have. What do I have really? What is in my life really? How much money do I really have? Who are my real friends? Who really has my best interest at heart? Who really loves me? Those are the questions that she needs to ask herself and really accept the truth. The truth, the truth, the truth. Hope. Yeah. She's going to hate it, having to give up control. But once she sees her progress, what is really happening in her life because she has given up a bit of control, she's just, her whole demeanor, her whole hope, her whole perspective on life, her ambition, her vitality is it's gonna skyrocket. It really is. Once she removes alcohol from her life, it's gonna be a completely whole new ballgame. Love begins, solitude. Yeah, that is another thing that this says right here is Wendy needs to start being able to learn to love being by herself. She hates it. She wants love. She wants her marriage back. But she needs to get to a place where she is comfortable being on her own, loving herself, loving being by herself, not having to drink to feel comfortable, being able to sit in her space and just be content and peaceful. Not anxious, not overwhelmed, not lonely, content. Someone comes over to see her, which she will always be surrounded by people. That's cool. You know? That is the place where she needs to go. And I feel like she is going to get there. And I feel like she's not going to have love in her life romantically until she reaches that place. Like right now, I feel like if she were to seek after a romantic relationship, it would just feel like desperation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And stop thinking about Kevin. Like, it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done. Kevin, her husband, I mean. Kevin Sr. Rejoice and her son, oh my God, in the documentary, Kevin Jr., her son, he seems like such a sweet kid. Really sweet, and he really loves his mom, and he just, like, he's even willing to take care of her. Like, she's lucky. She's lucky. Rejoice in celebration. Yeah. Who's on my side? Who do I really have? She can't see it if she's drinking. So I'm going to end the reading here. The feeling I get about Wendy is she's going to have to continue with the guardianship. I would hope that somehow, some way, her family will be able to take on that responsibility for her. I think that's who it should be. I think for the rest of her life, for a long time anyway, she's going to need this barrier between her and her money in order to stay in control of her life, because she lacks self-control. I think she's going to hate it, but it's going to provide her hope. She's going to struggle with love. She's still struggling with letting go of her marriage. She's going to think that she wants to be in a relationship romantically, but it's never going to work out, because she needs to get into a place where she loves being by herself. She loves being herself. She doesn't need love romantically. I also feel like she's going to have to spend some time repairing some relationships in her life that she has burned. I also feel like new management is in order for her. Yeah. Or some kind of revamping in management. Another thing too is she is going to spend some time reorganizing who is involved in her life. She's going to spend a lot of time struggling to accept the reality of accepting who's in her corner and who is not, who's in her corner because of money, and who's in her corner because of love and care and concern. Because right now she has this distorted view of caring people, like who cares for her. She's not seeing clearly. I feel like she's going to spend a lot of time getting back to her roots. In tarot traditional, this is the 8 of Wands, which usually means communication, can mean communication. I feel like that is where she's going to go. I think she needs to get back in a place where her voice, not her face, her voice is on like in a kind of like podcast radio kind of like setting, like old school. That's how she first became popular. I'm sorry if I'm very wheezy. I can hear it, and I apologize, but yeah, that's where I feel like she's gonna go. Get back to interviewing people. Get back to talking about, um, you know, things that are happening with celebrities, gossip, I guess you could say, culture, that sort of thing. But it's got to be in her home. I feel like that's where she's going to be, in her home, a studio in her home. She just needs to be stationary for a while and go from there. She's not in the right place to be out running around. She needs a structured environment, and the best place for that is in her home. And that's where I feel like she's going to be for the foreseeable. So that's the end of my reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment. I love reading your comments so much. Please, please, please comment. If your comment doesn't show up at first, it's because it's on hold. As long as it's not like offensive, it's going to be approved. So just allow a little bit. I check all the time. I will approve your comment. It will show up. Don't think that you wasted your time, because you didn't. It's there. It's just I have to approve it. So thank you. Love you guys. And I'll see you next time. Bye.